session organized by a Seminar and Events Club, ILET, and we are having with us Dr. Anshuman Chatterjee. He is a director of IIS School of Management. He has over 36 years of experience in the field of education, hospitality industry, human resource, and training and development. He is an MBA in HR and PhD in management. Dr. Chatterjee is the recipient of a Lifetime Achievement Award. He is a highly respected trainer in the country and is a life member of the prestigious Indian Society for Training and Development. Today he is with us to enlighten the topic about the webinar, the session, which is employability in the new normal. Over to you, sir. Welcome once again to our Seminar and Events Club, ILET.
Thank you very much, Pampa ma'am, and good evening to all the young professionals who are the future of this country. I thank ILEAD also. I'm glad to note that there is what did you say, an event club or something like that. These clubs are now, everywhere. These clubs are now, very active during this time of the pandemic. So, as I have been asked to participate in a webinar where the topic is employability in the new normal. So let us look at these terms they have used. I was wondering myself. One is employability. What exactly is employability? And what is this new normal? So employability is, in certain qualities in a person which makes him or her employable.
So, audience, we welcome once again to Mr. Abhinandan De. He is the Managing Director of IIS Education Group, one of the first private hospitality and management institution in Eastern India. As an educationist, he is with international experience. He brings with him a unique blend of insight, both as a student and as an administrator. Mr. Day is a presidential scholarship holder from Trade University, USA, and a graduate in industrial technology. Subsequently, he finished his master's from Emlon Business School, France, and Zhejiang University, China. He has worked closely with several startups in countries such as France and Germany as a consultant. Welcome you, sir, to ILET Seminar and Events Club. It has been organized this webinar by. Welcome you, sir.
So I was talking about this term employability. Employability, as I said, is is certain qualities in a person to make him or her employable. It is not about the knowledge of the subjects that are taught in a program. It is beyond that, where we develop certain qualities in us, where among a lot of people, a company's representative would look at that particular person with certain skills and select him or her. So these are employability. This is what employability is. And when we say new normal, normal, we understand normal is everything before March. Whatever was happening, like no people had just heard of or not heard of coronavirus. We were having our classes, we were going to the office, we were going to the malls, cinema halls, restaurants, bars, like a normal life. But once this pandemic came into our lives, and now we are being told that it is going to be there for a long, long time, possibly forever. So then we have to think of the changes in lifestyle that have been forced upon us and to which we have to adapt ourselves well. So earlier, when physical distancing was not something we ever discussed, we used to have companies coming for interviews, or we used to go to companies and we used to have rounds of interviews for a job. But now, many of us would not be going to office to complete our tasks. Like we can see Pampa ma'am today sitting in her home and working. So in the comfort of our home. So The point is that, so this is, I'm sure, new for Pompa ma'am also, even new for me too. So
Yes, sir.
we never used to even, think of, even dream of working from home. So the new normal tells us that we have to follow a number of social norms and protocol, and they still perform our jobs. So some old industries may die, some new industries may emerge as winners, and we have to, as employees or potential employees, we have to, change ourselves, mold ourselves in a way so that we remain employable during the new normal. So uh, that is about the topic.
Okay, sir. Abhinandan, sir, can you please share your views regarding this topic? Sir, your mic is mute.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So the topic today is, how to become employable in the new normal. Because what all of you students have to understand is that the world has changed, and the world is going to be changed in the foreseeable future. So all of you have to imbibe certain skills, certain values, certain work ethics, so that you can succeed in this new work from home environment. And I think today that's what we will discuss more on. I don't want to say much more because Dr. Chatterjee has already given a pretty decent overview. So Pampa, you can please take it forward.
So according to this, because the students over here, they are all struggling and wondering what would be the situation, like how the employment.
But
Please focus, sir, to our students, how they can improve themselves. Like in the current situation, if it is going very digitally, how they can connect with them,
I didn't get your question. How they can?
with how they can improve their skills and knowledge regarding
Um,
the new normal as a tag itself.
Correct, correct. You see, there are number of skills which we develop in ourselves to become employable. For example, one of them is communication skill. Now, communication skill is not dependent on whether you are physically there or digitally there. But there are some other skills, for example, body language. We try and train ourselves on body language. So when it's a physical meeting, a physical interview, then our whole presentation of our own self is different. Whereas if we come on for an interview digitally, be it on Skype or Zoom or Google Meet, whatever, then it's mainly the face and the shoulders that are visible. So there we need to speak to a person, we need to speak to a camera or a small hole instead of a person. Like at this moment, I'm looking at the camera. I can see Mr. Dey's, face from the corner of my eye. But if I look at the screen, then I would not be looking into the eyes of the other person that I'm connecting with. These are very small tricks of the trade, but which we need to adapt to, because if I'm appearing for an interview, then it is expected that I would look into the eyes of the interviewer, would maintain eye contact and answer questions. So this is a small difference, but it is the effect is big.
So, okay, thank you, sir. Abhinandan, sir, since you have worked closely with several startups with several countries, so please share your views with our students, how you faced over there, what are the troubles, what are the hurdles, what are the obstacles, and presently during this situation, since everything, it's not possible for us to meet with the people, means digitally we have to meet. So how, please share your experience with students.
So what is happening now is we have to understand that the world over, everyone, every single person is affected by this pandemic. Just like we had a lockdown here, almost all the other countries, even in Europe, in US, in Southern America, all of these countries were also facing lockdowns in their own schedule. So life has been disrupted all across the world, not just in India or not just in Southeast Asia. So what this means is that everyone has had to adjust. In the news, we keep hearing that various universities of global repute, top universities, they have had to adjust, move to online classes, just like people in IIAS or even INEET. Everyone has started adjusting to the new normal. So similarly, Even the startups are facing a lot of challenges, and a lot of startups are coming up with innovative pivots to survive during this lockdown. So, for example, I have worked very closely with this last mile delivery startup which operates in France. And what they have done is they have seen a boom in their business because this particular lockdown was a lucky break for them. So when I spoke to them, they had at least 300% increase in their orders during this lockdown. However, not everyone will be so lucky, and you always have to have the mindset that you have to pivot. You cannot stick always to the concept or the idea that you had when the times were normal, when it was business as usual, because now business is not as usual, and you should also be open to changing your core philosophy or your core idea in order to ensure that your business survives. That's what a lot of startups have had to do. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, sir. Anshuman, sir, please you suggest something. Carry on with your views.
You see, in the new normal, for example, we may have to go out also. We are talking about only working from home, but there are professions where a person will need to go to the office physically. There are many such jobs. For example, people in a hotel. In a hotel, the waiter or the cook can't serve their guests virtually. They have to be at their workplace. Now, what will be observed in them is whether they are maintaining the protocol, all the restrictions, and have they adopted to certain new practices. For example, we are very shaking hands is very common, but we can't shake hands anymore, not in the new normal. In the new normal, probably the whole world is going to adopt to either the Indian or the Japanese way. Either you fold your hands and say namaste, or you bow from your head like the Japanese do. So where there is no physical contact between the two persons, but the warmth remains same. So, even in a handshake, we could measure the warmth, like, in the style, how you hold the hand, how firmly you press with your hand. All this is to be measured. Now, probably is the language of your eyes, how you are smiling, and the way you are bringing your hands together, folded in front of you. So all this will also have to change. And then when we go to the office, sanitization, disinfection of surfaces, sanitization of your hands, sanitization of, say, your spectacles, all this will need to be, it will need to become a practice. It has to become a part of our habit. And if we go for an interview, because we are talking about employability, this is post-employment. Now, in employability also, even in an interview, of course, it would be observed that how well you are maintaining the protocol, well you are, if you are going for an interview, then whether you have sanitized yourself, did you go through the process? Taking this, the temperature measurement whenever we are entering any place. So these all have come to stay. So another thing we must do to remain employable, as I said, employability skills. When we write our CV and submit our CVs for employment, Pampa ma'am, these students who are participating today, are they from the final year mainly?
So it is a mixed batch participants, sir.
Okay, first, second, and third year.
Yes, sir.
But it is important for all of us, whether we belong to first, second, or third year, that it is almost sure that we will be asked, even after 2-3 years, because that will be the new normal. When the current first year students, when they come to final year and they submit their CVs, or during the interview, they would be asked, how exactly did you spend your time during the lockdown? What did you do during the lockdown? What new skills did you pick up during the lockdown? Did you just waste your time, while away your time? Or did you attend some courses which would help you develop, not only in your subject area, maybe which would develop your management skills, which would develop your communication skills, which would develop, some other life skills. So what did you do? Did you attend courses? Because there are university courses available which are free. There are other courses, all other platforms where you find a number of courses from different universities all over the world. They are offering their courses for the students everywhere. So even the teachers, even at IIAS, like each and every teacher is undergoing at least 2 such courses to improve their teaching skills or life skills. So this is definitely going to be a very important question regarding our employability, how we spent our time during this pandemic. It is not also outside the courses. Something like, say, somebody says, sir, my passion has always been cooking, and now I watched many cooking shows on YouTube and on the TV, and I have become an amateur chef during this time. And how is it going to help you during your work, with your work? Sir, it is going to help me because for me, cooking is a stress buster. So whenever I feel stressed out or something, then I simply go and stir up something in the kitchen. It is also an expression of my creativity. So I feel good after I have cooked something. So these are the whole concept of employability is changing this way. It is not just a job anymore.
So what do you think? Will job search be difficult or will it be different?
Jobs,
Yeah.
getting jobs.
Yes, sir.
No, getting jobs will definitely not be difficult compared to now. Yes, at this moment we are feeling with the lockdown, a lot of industries are suffering and they can't open their offices. That is a very short phase. You see, in our lives, a 3 or 4 month period is actually a very, very small, insignificant percentage. At this moment, we are feeling the heat. We feel it seems that we are all getting affected, very poorly. But it is not going to be like this. Maybe a 2-3 months delay in the employment for the final year students. For the second and first year students, even that is not a consideration at all. Like we have assured all our students that it's a maximum 3 months delay. Industry has to come back. For example, I'll tell you something. There is an industry which produces, say, all this sanitization and disinfection, chemicals and tools and containers. Imagine the total, how they're working overtime. Even, they have employed people, they have trained them, I am aware of. They were not getting people. They have taken people from other industries whose industry is under lockdown, and they've trained those people to work for them. And many of them are not going to go back to their original industry. They're going to stick to this industry because they are getting good rewards. So similarly, new avenues are also emerging. It is when computers came in our lives, people thought that now all these clerks would lose their jobs. It didn't happen. Employment, in fact, increased because computers came in, new industries emerged regarding all accessories, computers, servicing, many new industries emerged. And when we open an engineering firm, it just does not employ engineers. It employs HR people, it employs sales and marketing people, it employs finance people. So as one industry goes, another industry emerges, the avenues for employment remain the same. So I don't think any student should be scared of not getting employed. The main part is the crux of the matter is to keep ourselves ready. If even after this an interview is conducted and if I am not selected, the fault does not lie with the selector. Neither does the fault lie with the college. The fault lies with me, the candidate, because I have not prepared myself where the selector feels that I must take this gentleman. So that preparation is very important.
Okay. So one question, sir, Mr. Dev, is the new normal changing job search for better? What do you say? Is the new
Uh,
normal
hmm.
changing job search for better, according to you?
What do you mean by better?
Better means the improvement. Improvement.
See, the job search is, I don't know how job search can become better, but what I can tell you is that, it's quite natural for students, especially, they are finishing their third year, they're about to get into the industry, they're supposed to have joined the industry by now. Placement should have happened. So it is not that job search becomes better or worse. It is about you knowing which industries are open for opportunities right now. And whenever there are industries like logistics, like e-commerce, like healthcare, so these are the industry, FMCG is another industry. So these are the industries who are actively recruiting. So you have to use these platforms, use these industries. You have to find various platforms like LinkedIn, and you have to, you know, be out there, do a bit of research beyond what you would have normally done. So yes, definitely it will become easier that you don't have to travel to somewhere and get your interview there. You can do it from your home, just like we're talking right now. But apart from that, thorough research, reaching out to a lot of people, try and become part of various communities or groups on LinkedIn. There are a lot of industry focused or role focused communities on LinkedIn. You can join them. You can find decision makers who are there on these platforms, and you can try and contact these people to look for job opportunities. And another important thing that I believe students nowadays should keep in mind is that, as Dr. Chatterjee was also saying, you have to look beyond your traditional industries, because any industry has a variety of job requirements. So you should be flexible enough to learn what another industry is offering and provide your services in those industries. So look laterally, don't just look in your own sector. That's what I would suggest.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So another
Regarding
question to the,
regarding Pampa
yeah.
ma'am, regarding
Yes, sir.
job search, you use the term job search.
Right.
You see, once we start working, we get to know, different avenues. If we need a change, we feel that now I need a change. Now I need, a change in my job description, and we start looking for, different, other avenues. Then it's a job search which an employee undertakes. But as students, we are not really too experienced to exactly know how to search for a job. Here comes a very important catalyst, which is the professional college. The college, the teachers, the officers, they have more experience in terms of this typical term that you use, job search. And there, they have to play this role of the catalyst, where
They have to guide the students.
Exactly. They have to guide the students in terms of where to apply. They have to contact the industry houses, and brief them about how job ready our students are, and play the catalyst in between the two, in bringing the two parties, the selector and the candidate, across the table.
Can we ask some questions take the questions from the students?
Yes, of course, we would love to.
Students, yeah, students, anyone, you're having any questions, you are free to ask.
Good evening, sir. This is Anandita De.
Good evening.
Sir, I have just a minor query. It's something like told about job search. So nowadays about employability in Kolkata, in Bangalore and other metropolitan cities. Are the recruitment now will be difficult than the before time?
No, no. You see, it is, can I answer? Is your question over?
Yes, sir.
You see, it is not about, I would not like to use the term difficult. As I said earlier, we are going through a phase of lockdown. Now we are coming out of the lockdown also. Step by step, unlockdown is also taking place. At the same time, community spread is also taking place. It is happening all over the world. There will be further spread, and then suddenly it will get arrested. The numbers will start going down. People will have to run their businesses. The style of doing the business may change, but people have to run their businesses to survive. And if they have to run their businesses, they will need people. So it is not going to be difficult. It is going to be delayed. Delayed by maybe 2 months or 3 months. But the employment scenario would remain the same. Slowly it will build up. For example, I'll tell you, one of the worst sufferers has been the tourism industry all over the world. People are simply not going out of their houses, leave aside another hill station or a sea beach. So imagine the thousands of people just in our country. Select any one place and think about it. It is not only the hotel owners, it is their hotel employees, people who supply to the hotels, linen and vegetables, meats, stationery. There are so many things the hotel uses. So even in the tertiary field, people are suffering now. But as I said earlier, it is temporary. So for the current final year students, because we have been talking to many educational institutes, many industry houses, we have conducted webinars with the students. It is only about a delay. This is unfortunate. But 20 years from now, when Anindita, you become a counselor, when you participate in a webinar, you will be telling the students, those days, 20 years from now, you'll tell them, you see, we also went through a setback. This pandemic, it was there. And we suffered for 3 months. So it is nothing. 3 months is a very small, insignificant fraction of our lifetime. So don't worry. These 3 months, how we utilize these 3 months, so that when the appointment starts, we can tell them, I was not simply sitting at home. I was improving myself during these 3 months. I read these 2 books. I picked up 4 recipes. I attended 3 courses and I was certified for them. It is already mentioned in my CV. You see, this is how we should, this is employability. We should establish ourselves as an employable candidate whenever the recruitment starts. So don't, yes, Anindita, don't be sad at all, and neither should you be scared. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Be hopeful and work hard, I believe.
Anyone else? Any question? You can ask.
Always be hopeful.
Hello, sir. This is Astha Agarwal.
Hi.
I have this question, which is regarding the fact that whenever we sit for an interview, there are few things that we have to keep in mind. So what is one of the most important things any employer is looking for from our students, which is like the most important thing that we should work upon?
You see, Abhinandan, should I answer or should you?
You can start. I will connect with that.
For me, the most important quality that can be displayed during an interview is confidence. We all like confident people. I would like to hire, as an HR head, I'd like to hire a person who is confident about herself. Now, when are we confident? At this moment, I am a student. I'm a final year student. I have, I have appeared, or I'm about to appear for my final examination at the end of a 3-year program. Now, what can I be confident about? I can be confident about what I have studied in these 3 years. So, as an HR manager, I would feel if you have been a good student, you probably, with all possibilities, you will translate into a good employee. Because you have taken these 3 years seriously, you have studied well, you have learned your subjects well, and you will be in a position to contribute. So your confidence, if many a time in interviews we are asked, so what should I ask you? Which area I should ask you from? Sir, I have completed the curriculum. So, and I have studied well, I have done well, I'm confident about what I have learned. You can ask me from any area. Once I get that sort of a reply from a candidate, I'm already impressed by the candidate. So there are many other qualities, but one quality that I've talked about is confidence.
So, I want to just add on to that. See, nowadays all the interviews are supposed to be virtual. They will be virtual. So what is important is when I'm talking to a person, when I'm interviewing a person, apart from the confidence, I also want to see the level of preparedness. How prepared are you for this particular interview? Are you groomed well? Are you dressed well? Are you speaking well? These are the few areas which you really need to focus on. I should not feel that sitting across the table, you're sitting in your room and you're not taking it seriously, or you are just there, you're not sure about why you're sitting in front of the camera. So build a sense of purpose, and automatically from that sense of purpose, you will start preparing yourself well. You will start building that confidence in yourself.
And one more point, Astha and the others, whichever company schedules an interview, say for you, I don't know which stream you are from, say, let's say Wipro. Wipro is about to conduct interviews for the students of BBA in ILIT. Please conduct a thorough research on Wipro itself. Find out everything that you can about Wipro. And the trick of the trade is, during the interview, look for an opportunity where you can say that I know Wipro has these many employees in their Calcutta office, and they have these many employees in their Bangalore office. So I was looking forward to, something where now the interviewer knows that you have studied Wipro well. Like suppose they say, what do you know about Wipro? Sir, where should I start from? Let us say Wipro was established by such and such person in the year so and so, and this was their business in the beginning, and then this is how they expanded, and so on. Once you say that, you see 50% of your interview is done. So this research also is very important. It is not only in the new normal, it's at any point of time, anytime.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome.
So again, I have a question itself. This is Anandita here. So I would like to ask, if being a good student is important to be a good employee?
Fantastic
Not at
question.
all. Not at all. Not at all. I have seen, hundreds of students who were mediocre as a student, but as managers, they have excelled and they have surpassed their so-called good students. So it is not at all like that. But there is one point always there, that, if our results have been good, then we have a sort of an advantage over the others, which we can use very well. We can always tell, instead of looking like a bookish, a bookworm, we can always say, sir, I have enjoyed my 3 years in college. I have played, I have gymmed, done everything, but at the same time, I've studied well also, I've learned my subjects well, so that now I can convert my knowledge into skills in an organization like yours. So it is an advantage, that's all. But you take heart from this. I have seen many students, why mediocre students, even certain backbenchers. One of my ex-students who always somehow, struggled to pass is currently the sales and marketing advisor for Microsoft in Southeast Asia. So we never know, everybody is talented. It is not just the studies which make a person. But yes, studies, they don't harm. Studies help. So I think, Anindita, you have got your answer.
I got my answer, but had a short question, sir. Like,
Yes, sure.
normally if we be a good student, we go for the theory part. the theory thing and the management skills are not same, sir. Because management requires practical knowledge. So the theoretical thing we actually take it is not enough and actually it doesn't match the industry needs. So in that case, what should we do?
You
Okay,
see,
I will.
you are very
Yeah,
right when
sure.
you say that theory. For example, I learned the theory of driving a car, but driving a car is skill. So we never use the term, I have to actually drive a car to learn how to drive a car. Right, Anindita, do you get this
Yeah.
point? You are talking about this only.
Yes, sir.
Now, which is why we don't say management knowledge, we say management skills. This person has management skill and that person doesn't have management skill. So you are absolutely right when you say this is skill. But in our country, in our education system, you see, such opportunities, Mr. They would further elaborate on this because he has studied and worked abroad. Opportunity when we do not get many opportunities of testing our knowledge in a practical field. But at the same time, suppose there is no theory lesson on driving a car. We take a man, put him behind the wheels and tell him this is the steering wheel, that's the brake, that's the clutch, that's the accelerator. Now go. It doesn't happen. He has to know what the purpose of the accelerator, brake, clutch, gear, even the steering wheel, and has to know about certain parts of the car so that he can stop the car if a particular, something is observed. So the theory knowledge is not that it is not important. It is very, very important knowledge. But if that knowledge is not translated into skill, if this opportunity is not created, then I agree with you, it does not immediately translate into management skills. For that to happen, we must go for more industry exposure. We must work during our vacations, even a stipend or no stipend. In our own interest, we must work in the industry, in different departments. And here, I feel the college should also help create such opportunities for the students.
Thank you, sir.
If
But
you
I
are having
quite
any
appreciate
questions,
Anindita's questions. She has actually struck at the base of the matter. Anindita, very good. You must be such, outspoken and think like this also.
Thank you so much, sir, for your appreciation.
You're most welcome. Most welcome.
okay, anyone else? They can ask the question. Okay, sir. So you please give last but not the least any suggestion for the students how they can grow themselves, their skills, their knowledge. Mr. Day and Dr. Ankuman Chatterjee.
See, it's already been quite a few months into the lockdown. Now we are in unlockdown. So what is important is that you always keep improving yourself, keep gaining skills. As we have repeatedly said during this call, even Dr. Chatterjee has said, there are a lot of online courses that are available. There are some hobbies that you can pick up. Maybe you used to learn drawing, maybe you used to, play a guitar, and maybe you stopped that for whatever reasons. You can again, restart that hobby or, that particular activity that you used to like. You can learn something totally new, staying at home. You can learn from your friends, you can learn from your parents, you can learn from your brothers and sisters, something that we can always learn from each other. Start reading books if you don't. I know a lot of people might not like reading, but you can read books. Nowadays, there are audio books that you can listen to. There are podcasts that you can listen to. All of this is available for free on apps like JioSaavn, on Ghana, on Spotify. You can try and learn a language. So what is important is that, you keep developing yourself and going somewhere. If you are stuck, if you are doing what you do day in, day out and not improving yourself, then that is something that will reflect negatively on you when you get into the, into the job scenario again, into the field again. Gain relevant skills, because once you start applying for jobs, you have to realize that the competition will be high. There will be more people who will be coming, who will be finishing their schooling, their graduation as well, by the time you look for jobs. So maybe two batches will start looking for jobs together. So how you stand out, how you make sure that, you have you are ahead of the others, that is what will count down the line. And I think we have had some great points today. Management skills, employability skills, communication skills, networking skills. There are a variety of skills that can be developed. Time management skills is something that I think we are all learning with this lockdown, how to handle family, how to handle work. So keep building on these skills. And there are a lot of avenues for doing work in areas that you might be interested in. There are so many websites that are there. There are so many freelancing platforms that are there. Maybe you want to start practicing how to write a blog. Maybe you're good with language. Maybe you're good in graphic design. I know that IB runs graphic design courses as well. You can provide your services on these freelancing platforms. You can do part-time work for, with a stipend or without a stipend. So all of these will not just make you, give you the actual input from the industry. It will also add to your CV, and that shows that yes, I have put in my effort. I have done, what others have not done, and that means that I am ahead of the rest. That's the feeling that you should be aiming to give.
Yes, sir.
Sir, once more I am here.
Yes.
This is Anandita.
Yes,
One more question. Last is something like which of the metropolitan cities will have better employability
It is
after pandemic?
no. Number one, we should not play the role of an astrologer.
Yeah.
That is different. But I understand your question. Now, with the new normal, as you must have read in the newspapers also, many companies, especially in the IT sector, even in some other sectors, they have decided to reduce their office space. Converting at least a percentage of the employees, allowing them to work from home. Because they have seen during this period, you see, another positive outcome is people have not only learned how to work from home, the companies are also appreciating that people have probably become a little more productive than they earlier were. So this is going to stay, this work from home. So the moment it is work from home, which city it is becomes less important. In America, certain companies, I was reading their reports, they are now contemplating that we can now employ people easily from India or Sri Lanka, where, these people, they don't need to come to the office. They can work from home, and we can utilize their skills, which are much more. And because I don't need to go to the office, my scope of employment has now increased. It is not necessarily that I have to go to a physical office in Bangalore or Calcutta or Mumbai. But the point is that, yes, we have to look at the map of India. Wherever there is a concentration of industries, very naturally number of jobs creation would be higher there. So that I believe would remain the same even before what it used to be, before the pandemic.
And see, with the kind of
Thank you, sir.
technology tools that are there now, and we have a lot of platforms. I know people who are moved their entire companies companies remote. They are doing only remote work. So there are a few industries which can afford to do this, especially people, industries which rely on sitting on a computer and doing their work. There are industries like manufacturing and even teaching per se, which not everything can be done online. The practical classes cannot be done online. So there are few areas which we have to look at offline. But it's not about which city has the best opportunities, because the opportunities are now spreading out. It depends on the industry that you want to get into, depends on the sector that you are looking at. So the opportunities can be anywhere. And as I said, research is key right now. And I'm suggesting even the people who are working in the training and placement department of the colleges to please do research, because it's not just about the students doing research. I believe even the faculties and the training and placement department should research on which areas has the job opportunities for the students and share those information with the students as well.
Mama, ma'am?
Yes, Mubashir.
I also have one question. Can I ask?
Please ask. Please.
Good evening, sir. Sir, this is Mubashir. So my question is to you is that given the news and information which we have with us related to unemployment rate, which is the highest in the last 45 years, as reported by the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, and now the news which are coming from US where they're suspending H-1B visa, and also from Kuwait where from now only 15% Indians will be allowed, and around 8 lakh people will be deported as by various reports. So, sir, how do you think that this is going to impact the job opportunity for the people living in India?
See, internationally there has been a crackdown. There have been a lot of limitations that are being faced, because we have to understand that, see, currently the political scenario that we are living in across the world, that puts an emphasis on local. We are going vocal for local. That's what I say. So once you're going, everyone is going in that direction. So of course that means that jobs that were earlier being taken by some, people in the US, Indians in the US, a lot of them might have to move back. And, in Kuwait, it's not just about Indians. For every nationality, they're trying to reduce the number of people who are there. So yes, definitely that means that, there will be a lot more people looking for jobs in India. At the same time, as we just discussed, there are particular sectors which are agnostic of the location agnostic industry sectors. So in those, I honestly don't feel that there will be much of a change, because what we have seen historically is people adapt, companies adapt, and the opportunities will eventually come there. It will not be taken over by someone. And, now there's a lot of talk about new industries like analytics, data science, and artificial intelligence. People are concerned that people might lose their jobs because of that too. It doesn't work like that. You should start picking up skills in these new age domains so that you can stay relevant for the next 10, 15 years. And now, that's what will keep you ahead from people who are coming back, people who are going abroad. This flow might be, it might change for the time being, but things will again come back to normal down the line.
I absolutely agree with Mr. Dev. Mubashir, your concern is absolutely well placed. It is, I can see for a young man, it is a matter of grave concern. But as Mr. Dev assured, that, see, I have also said during this webinar, some time back, that this is only a passing phase, not only for India, for all the countries in the world. They are taking certain steps now which need to be taken now. But the same situation would not be there after a few months. So when again things will slowly start getting back to normal, where Kuwait, for example, as you said, needs people from outside Kuwait. Very simply put, they need people. I have worked in the Middle East for quite some time, and I know not only their environment, but also their mentality. They would need people very soon, immediately after this, I would get infected by you and you would get infected by me. That sort of a situation is gone. Things will start going back to normal. What we used to see before the pandemic. And look at the positives also. For example, a whole new industry has developed in India. I can mention one. I mentioned sanitizers and disinfectants there. I'm sure you are aware that before the pandemic, India never produced a single piece of PPE kit. Now, India produces 2 lakh PPE kits every day. So can you imagine how many people have been employed in this simple industry? How many people are making masks? There are many such industries. So if certain things remain with us for the rest of our lives, there will be people needed to ensure that, new people needed to ensure that these things are available. So I understand your concern. At the same time, as an older man, I would definitely like to reassure you that give it its own time, about 3 months or whatever, 3 months or 4 months. Instead of focusing on the concern, please focus on how best you can, you can utilize these 3 months to your own advantage. That would be the best thing to do during this time.
And I
Thank
think
you.
this is a
Thank you.
great time for, entrepreneurship. There are a lot of, avenues for entrepreneurship which is opening up. And I believe as a fresh graduate, with bright ideas, with a lot of new ideas you bring to the table, you should look into entrepreneurship as well as one of the areas with, there are a lot of schemes of India now, Atmanirbhar Bharat, Digital India. People are being urged to create apps and, for all these apps that have recently been blocked, the Chinese apps that have been blocked. So there are areas of innovation if you look for them. So there are opportunities, there are difficulties. So what I would suggest is focus on the opportunities and see how best you can be prepared for these opportunities.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. So I hope you got your answers. Well, thank you, Mr. Day and Dr. Chatterjee, for being with us today,
Yeah,
reciprocating your views.
I, I must mention something.
Yes.
I must mention something.
Yeah, sure.
I really liked your students.
Thank you so much.
They are smart. Could not see their faces, but yes, they are smart. They are articulate. They could express their questions very correctly. And I think they're rightly motivated. Their concerns are correct. In many ways, they are so correct. They, as younger people, they just need a little bit of hand-holding, little bit of guidance here and there. And they all will do extremely well, exceedingly well in their lives. I am 100% sure. I wish them best of luck.
Thank you so much for investing your time, valuable time, to our students and focusing them with the skills and knowledge regarding employability. Hope to see you again.
Thank you.
Next
Definitely.
webinar.
Thank you. Thank you. And thanks to all the students for, for asking such pointed questions. I really love the interaction. Thank you so much.
Thank you, audience, and thank you, sir.